Thanks, Joe. So I'm going to show you 3 bits of JobFoundry today. This is a pre-launch, pre-users state product. It's a learning tool. It's an edtech startup by a guy called Ed. So the first thing I'd like to show you is sort of how this is supposed to be working. JobFoundry will be a personalized learning platform. You basically tell us what you're trying to learn. We'll go through our big index of content, and then we'll give you a kind of a to-do list, a task list. So I'm going to show you how that's structured, and then I'm going to show you how we're going to try and personalize it to give you an idea of what the user accounts will look like later. This is the main page, if you like, the product page. We'll organize learning by something you're trying to achieve, by something productive. So we organize it by projects. This is an example project that we had a lot of people coming to ask, asking about social media marketing for small businesses, for freelancers, for startups. This is a in-demand project. So this is the kind of thing we kind of created. So a task page is a similar kind of design. So I'll tell you right at the top. We'll give you a sort of brief rundown of what the task is about. One little feature from user feedback is like, okay, how many calories, how much time am I going to spend trying to get this thing done? So that's kind of neat. Again, we'll give you an overview. And this is where it gets kind of interesting, is we'll then pull together a list of resources based on whatever you're trying to work on, so based on the task, together with a kind of to-do list of things to go and work on. So these will each link out to the resources in question, and you'll work through this kind of to-do list within a to-do list, moving towards your goal. So you can sort of read this resource. Do I understand this thing? Yes. Move on. Here's some things to go and wait and think through about to try and get through this task. So having understood the key concepts in that first section, I would then move on to kind of the actionable stuff. Giving you more different kinds of resources. So earlier on, we might be showing you more conceptual stuff. Here we'll be showing you sort of tools, tutorials, actionable things you can download and use. So within this kind of 3 sections, this understand stage, this think stage, and this do stage, will teach people enough so they're actually going to do this task. I'm going to give you an example of a guy who came to us at university. This is started at university. So Frank is a dental student. He runs courses for dentists, people applying for dentistry. If he's set up a course somewhere, he gets a massive benefit from selling more and more tickets, having had that sunk cost. So his interest is finding an audience to go to his website. So that's the kind of problem. So he worked through what type of website we're trying to create. Okay, we're going to create this kind of website. Well, okay, this is a business website, and we're going to begin talking through and guiding through the kinds of questions and problems towards his goal. He should be able to answer this kind of stuff. How customizable do you want the software to be? Okay, so maybe he doesn't know these kinds of problems yet, decisions yet. Like he just wants to get on with the problems, but he sees, yeah, I might want to do some kind of customization. Looks through the options. Again, more things which it would be better to know up front. So we're guiding this through this like decision graph, talking them through it. So in his case, he wanted to get on and do it. So. And then we'll give him a list of options to go and compare it with. So any of these could be very viable for him. So we'll talk him through each of these options and get him set up. So for each one in this case, the interface I know is a little ugly. So we can show more kinds of questions to help him make a decision. So then he can go and sign up for each one of these. And that, once we have user accounts and personalization, we'll then have one of those project views you've just seen built out already for him, based exactly on what he's trying to build and exactly upon his objective, and exactly what he's done already, and all this kind of stuff. So it's the familiar project view. We show him, like, yeah, this is your thing. This is your objective. You're trying to build a lead gen website. Here's your project overview, and here's your personalized list of tasks.
Hi. I think that in terms of monetization of this product, there's a couple of fairly easy things that you can do to build audiences and monetize. If people create content and they link to it, then you can give that free to just allow your product to grow naturally. If people want to brand the product for promotional purposes, so it becomes the Nike guide to training for a marathon or whatever, then you can charge them for that branding according to the number of views or number of completions or whatever. But if people, I think there's a potential market for content for sale, and you can just simply charge on a rate basis. So people can, you can offer different charging models. So people might say, well, okay, you subscribe to a whole block of content, and it costs 20 quid a month, or you can take individual courses for, you know, 5 quid, 10 quid or whatever. And I think that you can, through a combination of branding and content marketing not on your side, on your supplier's side, right? Then they'll do enough to push this content out to people using it. And as long as people get enough free content to become familiar with the platform, then there'll be demand for paid content, because people understand you need to get good quality learning materials and you need to pay to learn.
Looking at the product, there's a presumption, obviously, that people want to do all the steps themselves in that product. I think there's an opportunity from a monetization point of view to position people that offer those services along the route to allow them to advertise themselves, basically, and then have some kind of customer feedback rating, so people can go, awesome, these 3 steps I can handle myself, these 4 I'm going to outsource to whomever.
For me, the words JobFoundry sound like an employment site. It sounds like you're going to find a job, so it's maybe doesn't match. There's a cognitive dissonance there, perhaps.
Can I explain thinking? So it's like, this is maybe in danger of like pitching, but it started in thinking of recruitment and education. They are fundamentally linked. Like the transaction of you getting a job, they're looking at your skills, they're looking at that kind of stuff. So it's to think through that from scratch. This is just a content learning platform. This is just mapping knowledge, and then personalizing learning is just the half of it. Big secret. So in time, we'll be able to map that on people's profiles, and you apply with that. If you apply with that, we might know more about you than LinkedIn does, more than your resume does. We'll be able to say, like, your proficiency at X, Y, Z. We can go to employers. So a while back, we were trying to validate some of this stuff. We can go to employers and say, so you're looking for a entry-level front-end developer. We can show you all the people who are fluent, like empirically fluent at this. They're not allowed to apply to you until they've got through our platform. This also solves the problem for candidates, which is they want feedback. So if they're applying through this platform where they have to prove this much, and if not, here's the stuff to go and learn it, that's the kind of the JobFoundry. So they're kind of pitching. Whoops.
All right. Yeah, thanks.
Well, thank you very
There we
much.
go. Big round of applause for Ed and JobFoundry. Thanks so much.